At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Naomh Conaill and a very blusteous park. Now, Dunaibh it is. We're getting blown away here. Mo, Mo, you're with me here in commentary. If we can hold on to our notes and we might get through this game, we're going to do our best, because it certainly is testing weather, and that's for us here up in the partially covered stand, never mind out in the pitch.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a strategic game plan for us here, Brendan, as well. As you say, we're going to try and hold on to our notes and see what's going on here in the field, but very, very blustery conditions for this match today between Naomh Conaill and the home side Downings.
Yeah, and Mo, just looking at the two teams, Downing's making a great start to the championship in terms of being ultra competitive against Dunaibh. A fantastic one then away to Kilcar, which not a lot of people seen coming, and now they're home, and certainly they're under Maxey, very well organised team, and of course they've the added bonus of Cian McBride in this year, a fellow who was in the Meath panel. He had 3 years out with Essendon playing Australian rules, and he has been a big part of this Downings team, along with the firepower, the likes of Michael Wee obviously, and Johnny McGrody in the forward line.
Yeah, and you know what, I suppose the home advantage today for Downings is particularly important. They're very hard to beat. I know Dunaibh beat them here at home, and I don't think enough emphasis is put into the first round games, where both these teams have lost early on in the stages. But as I say, for Downings, that one against Kilcar could really stand to them today, and it has given them an added boost. A one today would put them in a great position going into round 4 next week, Brendan.
Yeah, and they're playing against a very experienced Naomh Conaill team, of course, every season. They're up there with the favourites for the championship, Owen. But looking at the side that they've out today, I know they lost Kieran Thompson, a huge injury and loss to the team, but an absolute wealth of experience. 6 players were in the county squad there togging out today, and they've had a tough enough start. Away to Glen Swilly, and on the opening match was a tough one. And then obviously the Ardra, the derby. Ardra looked like they really lifted it in that game, and now they're away to Downings, so it's been a tough start for Martin Regan's team.
Yeah, absolutely. But they say the tougher the games, the more experience they get on there, and the more hardened the team is as they go on. And we all know the experience levels, as you say, that Naomh Conaill have coming out here against Downings. They'll want to win as much as Downings here today, because it leaves them in a good position going into the next stage against St Michael's. But look, a wealth of experience. 7 on the county team, 6 of them starting here today. John O'Malley, Charlie McGuinness, big hitters for them. Add then to Owen McGettigan, who's had a brilliant championship campaign so far. Scored that 1-2 in round 1. Didn't beat Glen Swilly, of course. They lost by a point, but he's been on the score sheet a lot, and Naomh Conaill are going to look to him today as well.
Yeah, and another massive player back east in O'Donnell. I mean, let's be honest, Mo, that boy is a county player, and when you look at that, then even with Kieran Thompson missing, you're saying about the 6th, that basically is a 7th. You have a serious bit of experience and know-how in winning tight championship matches, and having Ethan back. I was chatting to a couple of boys there just what kind of form he's in. He says he's absolutely flying when he landed back for training, so a huge plus having him back, even though, as I say, they've lost Kieran Thompson. Yeah,
you talked about Thompson being out there. He's a brilliant footballer, has had a brilliant county campaign this year, brilliant for the 2-pointers as well, but they have a wealth around. And now add Ethan O'Donnell, as you say, in at half back. It just secures and strengthens their half back line and their back line. The likes of Alton Doherty and their AJ Geller, and Anthony Thompson and their number 6. Look, experience, I feel, may won here today, even though Downings are at home and have the advantage. The first half, I suppose, who plays with the one, who plays against it, will have both teams will just settle each other into the game. But I feel like with the experience that we talk about there in the Naomh Conaill side, they're a championship winning side. Downings are still very much steadying the ship, trying to get a good band of players on there, and they do, but I feel that we're relying too much on the 2 forwards, McGrady and McElwee today, maybe to get scores.
Yeah, I'm just watching as you were talking about the weather there. Owen McGettigan had a shot into the lower goals, and it curled completely away from the net, so that is something that's going to be difficult to deal with. Just on the teams, Jordan Nugent is in nets for the men from Downings. Their full back line is Alex Garantowski. Tiernan McBride and Porritt McGinley. The half-back line is Pageant Shields, Ronan Gallagher, Conor Boyce. Their midfield pairing is Oisin Boyce and the aforementioned Cian McBride. Their half-forward line is Ronan Basuma, Johnny McGrody and Paul McGrody. And their full-forward line, where number 19, Callum Cullen, is in instead of number 13, Kyle McFadden. Callum Cullen is in the full-forward line, along with Paddy McElwee and Gary Ban McClafferty. That is the starting Downlands team. The starting Naomh Conaill team is their usual netminder Shane McGrath, their full back line, Alton Doherty, AJ Gallagher and Kevin McGettigan. We have a change in. Max Campbell was number 5 and is wearing number 5, but Ethan O'Donnell wearing 23 comes in his place. Number 6 is Anthony Thompson, 7 is Finbar Rorty. What a season he's having. I'm looking forward to watching him today. Number 8 and 9 in the midfield pairing is Kieran Gallagher and Jack McKelvey. 10, Brendan McDyer, what a servant he's been to the club here. John O'Malley, 11, 12 Owen Doherty. And the full forward line is Mark McDevitt, Charles McGuinness and Owen McGettigan. And that is the two teams now. They're in their huddles. They're getting ready here. Mark Dorian is our referee officiating today, so we're very close to throw-in time here, Mo. And just looking at the table, you know, Dunlow, after their brilliant run last year, topping it, and it's amazing them. They're sitting there 1 and 2. Along with Gweedore, and they have the exact same scoring average, 50, well, 1 point different actually. 53 scored in Cloughalea, 52 Gweedore. They've both conceded 39, and it's been a brilliant start by those two teams. And St Michael's tucked in behind them on the next on 5. St McColl's tucked in on 5. St Michael's in on 4. We have Unions on 4, for Masters, Kilcar, Glenswilly, Kilcar and 4, Glenswilly and on 3, and then you have the Downlands and Naomh Conaill pair. And as you said, this is a real big game for these both sides in terms of trying to get up into those quarter-final pairings and avoid, of course, any trouble at the other end of the table.
Yeah, and like a Naomh Conaill loss here today, you know, puts them in a bit of the soup. You know, look, they're maybe facing the bottom of the table. You get closer and closer down for a championship team with the experience they have and the county players that they have. You know, it's interesting to see after the first only two games, that they find themselves going out here, and this is probably a one match that they need to win in this championship. As you say, a loss today. They have a big game against St Michael's. St Michael's pulled off a shock last year too, Brendan. They're worthy of it. Like, so Naomh Conaill don't want to be facing that next week. But again, Downings only need to realistically come away from a point here today to feel safe.
Yeah,
so,
and do you think it'll be two? I mean, you know Martin Regan's team. It's going to be well organised as possession first, but so in many ways as Maxie's team. So this could be a real game of, you know, today about using the ball well, about gaining possession when you get it. Both teams are more likely going to sit off and going to play that pacing game. So it's having that ability to break down the opposition's defence. And here's Mark Dorian just about to hop on the ball, and we are underway here. It's flicked down straight away. It's Naomh Conaill in possession. Mo, have you got the timer on that? We'll get times on this as well. It's Ethan O'Donnell breaking forward for the men from Naomh Conaill, shipping it back. Down is getting back into their defensive shape, as we mentioned before, but Naomh Conaill looking to use that breeze and get a shot away. Finbar Rorty is broken inside. He's on his left foot. And was there a late push there? The ball goes out to the left and wide. Finbar Rorty having the first opportunity of the game. Yeah,
and look, you talked about Finbar Rorty and what a year he's been, and we're both looking forward to seeing him play here today, and no doubt he'll try and get up there on the score sheet. He's very easy to spot with his orange boots on the field there, but look, a missed opportunity early on for Naomh Conaill. Yeah, first kick out of the day for Jordan Nugent. Comes out behind the middle. Downs go up for it, breaks down, and it breaks kindly for them. It's Porritt McGinty who has it, recycles it back, and their spare numbers out this right hand side. They're breaking up now. It's 12. Paul McGrody has the ball. He's soloing forward, gives it inside. Naomh Conaill building up the play. Gary McClafferty on it, giving it out to the number 6. That was Ronan Gallagher. Ronan's making ground in the Naomh Conaill defence. Rotating round, plenty of numbers back, and you can see that breeze, the way the ball's carrying there, and he's giving it back to Oisin Boyce, looking for a pathway through this Naomh Conaill defence. That's very rigid and always solid Naomh Conaill defence. So far they're pushing out the attacks. Naomh Conaill happy to use the ball. Johnny McGorty, the danger man for Downlands.
coming inside and out, recycling it back. And this is the patience we're talking about, Mo. This is the thing, both sides will have to use the ball well, and particularly Downings against that breeze are going to have to get the ball very close to goals to get a score away, and Naomh Conaill know that. They're pushing out, and it's that loose pass, and it's that breakaway move now. The ball's been overturned. Finbar Rorty has the ball. He's breaking up this left-hand channel. He's making ground. He's carried it 30-40 yards. There's a man inside, but he gives it outside to McDyer on the left foot. McDyer swings it, and that's the opening score of the day by the veteran Brendan McDyer on that trusty left foot of his. It's actually a 2-pointer, Mo. We're outside the arc there. Yep, first score of the day, Mo, and it's a 2-pointer.
Yeah, and absolutely a fantastic score, right? He used the one to his advantage as well, but that score come from a turnover. Downing's been very patient, but Finbar Rorty on the hop there, carried the ball about 40 yards, a beautiful pass to McDyer, and lovely first score for Naomh Conaill.
Yeah, ever dependable McDyer. Whatever keeps him going, he's been some servant to Naomh Conaill. Downings have won the kick out, and they're playing up the pitch, but that breeze is playing all sorts of havoc with the ball. It's been well taken inside there by Paddy McElwee, and he's pulled the first foul of the day, and it's just inside the arc, that left hand side, Mo, and this will give you a great indication of what it's like striking into this breeze, because this is a difficult opportunity, but certainly one where against the breeze you've got to try and register on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and look, it's Downings on the end of this, and they're well they know the breeze down here, Brendan, so they're well used to shooting into breeze in difficult conditions like this, but this is a big one. It's just outside the arc, as you say, and we'll get a real gauge on how strong that wind is.
Yeah. It's Pageant Shields, I think, over there on the ball on that far side, looking to register Downing's first point of the day, and it could be a 2-pointer, but a very difficult opportunity. You see it carries big time on the breeze, breaks kindly, and Naomh Conaill have it. Doherty has it in the corner. He's well tackled by two Downing's players. Was there a foul? No foul given. There's a load of bodies in there. Naomh Conaill are trying to get out the pitch with it. Down in front of us here, looked like it maybe come out of play. There's a few players calling for it, but Downings have won it back. Did well to keep possession there, and it's Oisin Boyce now breaking up the pitch. He gives it inside to Shane Cole, sorry. A late replacement. I hadn't got that on the sheet there. Downings on the left hand side now, looking to get inside the cover. That's a great 1-2. Is there a goal on here? Brilliant finish to the back of the net there. And what a break up the pitch there. It was Pageant Shields, I think it was it. The ball came across, and was it number 9? Was it Cian McBride was following that up? And he fisted it into the net, Mo. And against that breeze, what a massive score for Downings.
Oh, absolutely massive. And actually that came from a turnover deep in the Downings half there from Ronan Gallagher, who was influential in the last match.
They've kicked it short, yes. It's blocked in, and what an opportunity.
Almost in and goal there again.
Yeah.
So, look, they're trying to get to grips. Naomh Conaill are trying to get to grips with Downings here at the minute. But that was a brilliantly worked goal by Downings, and ended up in the back of the net by Cian McBride. He tapped it in.
Yeah, good finish by McBride, and the breakaway goal can hurt there. That all come back to midfield possession. Downings are doing well, and here's a shot from range, and it's another cracking score by O'Malley, and a 2-pointer. He made that look so easy, Mo. It was almost like a free kick. Downings had backed off him. He's over the right hand side with outside the boot. He put it up into that breeze, and it carried it over the bar for a lovely score.
Yeah, lovely 2-pointer. And again, look, with that wind, and you talk about the value of the 2-pointers, this is where Naomh Conaill can hurt Downings in the first half with these 2-pointers, Brendan.
Yeah, big high feeling in there. Great catch by Cian Gallagher there, getting possession for the Naomh Conaill men. It's shaped across into the midfield. Oran Doherty making ground now, giving it back to Jack McKelvey. McKelvey across to Finbar Rorty. He spreads the play across to the big figure of Cian Gallagher. He gives it out wide. And again, it's John O'Malley, score of the 2-pointer there just recently. Downings realising they can't step off O'Malley and give him that type of opportunity again, and they've pushed out that bit further just now, realising that 2-point threat is very dangerous from Naomh Conaill as they build across the pitch here, and it's the danger man Owen McGettigan on the ball. He drops a shoulder right or left on the left foot. Does he take the shot? He's been well harried in there by Ronan Gallagher, and Mark Dorian decides that he overcarried. And I thought he might overcarried at the start of that move. He looked like he took a few steps. Maybe that was enough to highlight the steps, and Dorian on the second call blew for the free out against McGettigan.
Yeah, probably a wee bit unlucky, you know, but look, let off for Downings as well. Look, they want to get back in here and they want to get up. Oh, it's a really bad giveaway there by Cian McBride after that lovely goal.
Yeah,
that shows you the one there. He just kicked it across the field.
Simple possession given away. I'm sure Maxie Kern won't be happy with that. When you're playing a team like Naomh Conaill, you cannot give easy possession away, and that's just what's been done, allowing a potential Naomh Conaill attack to build now again. The referee has just stopped play for a minute. There's a man down at the far end of the pitch here, a Downings player. He's going to allow him to get attention here. No, he's wave play on because the player is well down the pitch. Is Brendan McDyer fisting it inside. O'Malley is in that right pocket. Can he get the shot away? Tackle comes in. Was he fouled? Mark Dorian says yes, he was, and this is going to give
a little bit
what should be a
too.
straightforward opportunity for Naomh Conaill.
Yeah, absolutely. Brendan, I thought that was a wee bit sloppy there from Downings in defence, you know, like a clear pull just on Naomh Conaill forward line there. But
again, going back to that possession given away, this is what happens from it, and I'm sure it's something as a manager you can't allow for, but you know, unforced errors. And you have a simple task for McDyer sticking that ball over the bar. That normally would be a role Kieran Thompson does, and that's something else. You need that backup and free takers, but certainly when you have a left foot like McDyer's, opportunities like that are straightforward.
Yeah, and as you say, look, it's Downings can't afford to be giving away frees like that there, especially against the one. You know, they have to try and keep possession, but it's the simple errors that have caused them a couple of scores for Naomh Conaill, you know.
Naomh Conaill, there's a serious midfield battle going on out there, and it was won this time by Gallagher of Naomh Conaill, and they are breaking forward with men over. McGettigan has it this time just outside the 45. He gives it to Doherty, brilliant with outside the boot. He goes for one from distance, and it just tails to the right and wide, but Doherty is brilliant. We've seen him do that many a time for Naomh Conaill, and indeed for Donegal. He seems to prefer really hitting the ball with outside of the boot. A lovely strike. Were you good at that yourself?
Well, hey, listen, it takes a lot of skill to be able to pull it off, and you have to have a lot of confidence, but I feel with that breeze, Naomh Conaill do have a bit of confidence behind them, particularly, you know, with a 5 point to 1 goal difference, you know. Yeah,
but that goal's huge, in terms of, you know, if you were 5-0 down now, you're already under a bit of pressure. That just gives you a serious lifeline. But listen, Downings have looked very dangerous when they've broken inside. A lot of pace.
They have for sure. And look, Naomh Conaill seem to be winning the midfield battle at the minute, despite the fact that, you know, you have big Cian McBride there for Downings in the middle of the field.
Yeah, him and Gallagher having a great battle. Van Baroti, the man who had such a breakthrough season for Donegal this year, he was unbelievable, and really looking forward to watching him play here today. Giving it across to Ethan O'Donnell, another very talented half back. The ball comes in. Yes, we just want to welcome Highland Radio. Mo was saying our guests, our listeners from Highland Radio have joined us here as well, along with the streaming here down at Park na Dunaibh, as the home side are a couple of points behind here to Naomh Conaill. It's 5 points to a goal, 3 points. Doherty's inside again. He gives it back to McGettigan on that right peg, but he pulls it to the left and wide. And again, the simplicity of kick out. Kick out's been won is the difference. Downings won the kick out. They've had a couple of dangerous attacks. They've got a goal, and Naomh Conaill have won the majority of them so far, which has put them 5 up on the scoreboard.
They have, but they're very, very under pressure here, trying to get the ball out against the wind. And look, I feel like Owen McGettigan got on that ball there, but you know, perhaps the number 12, Paul McGruddy, or Naomh Conaill's number 12, should have had a pop at that stage.
Yeah.
But a serious factor here, Brendan, I feel early on, Naomh Conaill are just taking pop shots.
Yeah, that's 4 kickouts in a row now, and the Downings kickout that Naomh Conaill have won, and that time it was a breaking ball. It was picked up by O'Malley, and now they come across it. Jack McKelvey has it on the right hand side with a bit of room to manoeuvre. Naomh Conaill very, very strong on the ball. Tony Thompson fisting it inside. Gallagher has it back to McKelvey on his weaker right foot. Great score from McKelvey, putting that ball over the bar to extend that lead to 6-5 or 6 points to a goal more. And you just look there, the kind of strength and the experience of Naomh Conaill telling in his last few minutes of really taking control of this game.
Yeah, like Warren Doherty, Owen McGettigan there, McDwyer and McKelvey all having shots and successful shots on target as well. But look at that ball hanging in the air from the kick out, the Downies kick out. That is a serious breeze out there, you know, and that's what Downies have to contend with in this first half. Try and get a few scores on the board. Retain possession now is key, I think, Brendan, to try and get in there and get a few scores. It's a hand passing game for them, it's a kick passing game for Naomh Conaill.
Exactly. Naomh Conaill have it in this left hand channel now, coming across the pitch, looking to get an angle. Naomh Conaill knowing they have to get close to goals before they can get a strike away. Ball's rotated back here now. Oisín Boyce has it as our notes go flying everywhere here. Mo, we're under pressure with this breeze.
It's serious for us, it's serious for them.
The game's just settled out into a small bit of calm there. Johnny McGrody has it. Naomh Conaill knowing to keep him out of the trouble. He's the danger man, or one of them, one of the key ones in there. But his hand pass was just a small bit short. Anthony Thompson using the experience, nipping in, taking the ball. He's fed it up the line. Fed by Rorty has it now, which is dangerous for Downlands because we know about the legs this man has in the counter attack. Comes across, gives it to McDwyer. It's flipped inside. Doherty has it. He's coming across. There's a chance of a goal. It's rotated back to Gallagher. It should be a straightforward kick. He doesn't take it though. Back inside to McDwyer. Maybe going looking for the goal. Hits the top of the post, comes back off, serious let off. Jeremy McBride has it down in the corner, and Naomh Conaill going after him. They've overturned the ball. McDwyer has won it back. It's scrappy, it's loose there, and Downlands eventually coming out with the ball there with Pádraig McGinty, and again the ball's been overturned. They can't get out. Ethan O'Donnell has it, looking to get the shot away, back to McGettigan on his left foot, and McGettigan blazes it badly wide. But again, Mo, the pressure there, Naomh Conaill realising that if you're sitting deep like that there and the ball's turned over, they're coming after the ball. They're not retreating back in, they're going after them because they're realising this half is vital. They've got to put up a good score and make sure that we have a healthy lead going on at half time.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's happening is Downies, when they're getting up front, they are being patient, but they're playing the ball nearly too close. And like Anthony Thompson robbed that ball, give it a fun by Rorty, and they were unlucky not to get a score out of that, you know. But as I say, they're lining up the wealthy experience that they have in there, and Owen Scott with two wides unfortunately hasn't put it over yet, but you feel he will.
Yep, through ball from O'Malley, almost getting Jack McKelvey in. That was a very dangerous moment there. Great attempt at pass inside, but it was well read by Jordan Nugent there. He took a bit of a knock after that ball was played. The ref is still playing on even though he's down.
He is down.
Alex Garowski has a ball, giving it back to Boyce.
Maybe an opportunity now for them to get on. Jordan Nugent took a serious hit there, I suppose, after that. But look, as you say, Naomh Conaill really going after Downies here. When they turn over the ball, they are getting up the field in numbers. You know, they're defending in numbers. There's a bit of zoneless going on out there, but I feel like that's because of the wind. But they are attacking in numbers and attacking well, and they're getting 2 or 3 shots off there.
Yeah, that was another kick out one that created that chance. That's 5 in a row kick outs after Downlands had won the opening couple of kick outs in this game, which gave them a wee bit of a foothold, gave them an opportunity. But as it is, the only score they've registered has been that goal from Cian McBride, as we said, a man from Meath. He was in the Meath squad this year. Of course, they played against Donegal in the All-Ireland semi-final. He had 3 years out in Australia with Essendon, so certainly a player who needs to be watched. Crowd not happy with the referee here in terms of who has the ball. Mark Dorian taking it up the pitch now, and Downlands will have opportunity here to launch an attack.
Yeah, he's taking no prisoners out there as well, but I suppose one of these new rules now, you don't have to, you know, as well. But he took the ball 40-50 yards up the field there, which gives Downings an opportunity.
No lip,
no, not like we get away with in the day, Brendan.
We would have been in trouble back if we were playing now, Mo.
There'll be a couple of cards this side of the stage.
I tell you, wherever we scored might have been taken off us. It's a short kick by McGrody. Downings have it in the left corner, looking to create a bit of opportunity. It's 2 or 3 Naomh Conaill back in good numbers, well organised as you'd expect. Oisín Boyce has it, giving it across the pitch here to Danny McBride. Shane Call that was, apologies. It's given across here to Paul McGrody. We're just struggling to see past everybody here. We have a few kind of barriers in our way here, folks. We'll do our best in this lower end here. And that, as I say, is Shane Call on the ball, number 22, a late replacement into the team. Downlands working it inside. Can they get the shot away? There's huge numbers back. There's crowded space in there. It's back outside the Boyce. He's trying to get McGrody in the game. His hand pass is a wee bit wayward. Well done by McGrady. He's under serious pressure from Doherty, and out as the two Dohertys were tackling him there. He's given it across to Boyce. He's going into this corner, but can we get a shot away into that breeze? That is the one. Anthony Thompson standing up. The man he's been taken on. He looks to roll inside. That was Ronan Gallagher. And in the end, that bit of experience in the tackle, just keeping him up. He actually went by Thompson for pace, but he was backed up and rolled up. But Townends have turned it over again. It's come back to McGrady for his first shot of the day. Can he find a range? He can't. It's into the waiting arms of Shane McGrath. And again, it's so difficult to get that, that strike of distance in there when you're trying to keep control of the ball, because that breeze is such a huge factor.
Yeah, and you know what? Naomh Conaill are so cute and, very, very smart. They're keeping Downings out on the wings, making it very difficult for them to even take a shot. They're so far out from goal with that one. As you seen, McGrady dropping shot when the opportunity did arise. They cannot get down through the middle channel. And, when you look at the half-back line there, Ethan Gallagher in there and Thompson across there, and Ethan O'Donnell, and Finbar Rorty and Thompson. It makes it so difficult to get in even past the halfway line. Yeah,
and then very dangerous on the attack, and those players were on the ball there now. It's Oren Doherty on it currently, giving it back there to Mark McDevitt. Mark spaces across the backs to Finbar Rorty. Downends happy enough sitting in their space. They're realising that they have to come out fairly far, which causes gaps in the back, which is why Jack McKelvey got in, because they cannot defend at the arc. They have to come out because of that breeze. They have to engage, and that's leaving spaces inside. And Naomh Conaill unlucky not to have registered a goal at this point. They have hit 6 points, so 2 2-pointers in that as well. Finbar Rorty has it just outside the arc. The cover of Downends coming back. They're going over and back the pitch. It is McDyer on it, gives it to McDevitt. McDevitt goes for a shot from distance. And I think there was a foul already. The hand was up from Mark Dorian, and that's one of the ones where you're allowed to have a free shot. You wouldn't mind that as well, talking about the new rules, a free shot, and if you miss, you get your foul anyway.
Well, you see, I feel like with that breeze that's what Naomh Conaill feel like out there. They're going to try and take as many opportunities to get a 2-pointer as possible. I felt though at that stage, I felt that was a bit wasteful from Mark McDevitt. They should have held on and got into maybe a better position. He just hoofed it up in the air there. But look, they have a free from this. Owen McGettigan is lining up to take it. He's good on a dead ball as well. Devaney, a bit like yourself back in the day,
Well, that's all I did. I was kick out handy dead balls. So yeah, listen, Owen McGettigan's been by far the top scorer for the Naomh Conaill men, and he's on the ball now again. I think he's registered 114, is he?
Yeah, I think so.
In the opening 2 matches. So
and well able to take
he's
the
had real
as
injury
well.
problems there, but great to see him back in form, and he's hit this to the right and wide, and that's three attempts for McGettigan. He hasn't found form today, and is that one of the reasons it's still Downends a goal? Naomh Conaill just be 60, should have more on the scoreboard at this point.
To be honest with you, Naomh Conaill should be very, very much more ahead, I would say, than they are. They have 3 or 4 wides there, 3 coming at the hands of Owen McGettigan, which is it's actually a shocking statistic. He hasn't got into the game at all yet, but you know what, Naomh Conaill have so many more around him that are well able to take scores as well, so it's not as if they're relying on the one man.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes on this. It's Downends the home side, just with that 1 3-pointer score so far, playing against a very stiff breeze. Is Naomh Conaill sitting on 6 points, and have had a few other opportunities with that. Probably should be further ahead. O'Malley takes the sideline ball short. McDyer on that left foot, he's underhit it though as well, and it's into the arms of Jordan Nugent. Charles McGuinness putting him under pressure straight away. He goes back to Oisin Boyce, and Downends looking to get about. Naomh Conaill chasing after that ball, though there's a real danger as they break out, because Naomh Conaill are really pushing up on them, realising with that breeze they have to make ground, but it's Downends that make ground now. They're coming up this left hand side here, and it's the Ronan Gallagher as the ball. He gives it inside. Is there another chance of a goal here for the men from Downends? And there is a breakaway goal again. I know we've been saying anytime they've come up the pitch they've been very dangerous, and that time it was Johnny McGrady who got the ball. Paddy McAwee, Paddy McAwee was I was saying we have a couple of obstructions here.
We have a pole and a camera.
It was Paddy McAwee, and again it's him and McGrady that have been doing the lion's share of the scoring here for the men from Downends this season, and it's him that's got this goal. And amazingly, we are level as Naomh Conaill kick out long. We'll come to that goal now in a minute. Downlands have actually won it this side, but what a score again, you know, on the break, and all the hard work that Naomh Conaill have done have been undone by 2 3-point scores by the men from Downlands.
Absolutely, and listen, that came from a drop short ball, you know, that Naomh Conaill had into the hands of the keeper. Downey's broke out the pitch, and I feel that that's the one way that they're going to get scores, because there's so many Naomh Conaill players in attack that Downey's on the attack, then that's when they can do a bit of damage. And as you've seen there, got Paddy McElwee on the ball there, and Paddy McElwee is 1-9 you know, to his tally this year now. That I make that 2-9 now for him, and a goal coming at a critical stage. And as you say, look, we're 22 minutes in here, and we're in level terms here.
Yeah, and the game plan so far is working a treat, because against that breeze you're going to want a decent lead, and 2 breakaway goals, and a few misses from the men from Naomh Conaill have led it to be a tied game here, amazingly 22 in, because it shouldn't be that way, but fair play. And again, Downlands breaking right through the middle of the pitch. There's another goal opportunity on, goes for the strike. It actually comes back the way it didn't go forward at all. Another high ball in that back post, and again threatening the goal line in there, as we're notes are blowing everywhere here. Callum Cullen it was who had that last strike here. We're being tested in the stands. I don't know what it's like out in the pitch, but there's enough trouble here.
Well, as you see, that ball just comes sweeping back there, you know, when you're kicking the ball. So, you know, look, they need to make better choices, keep the ball low and down, and that's where the goal opportunity came from. But look, certainly Downies have their tails between their legs here now. They're actually doing a lot better.
They are
Can lift them that goal, you know.
Yeah, this is rearranged senior championship game between Naomh Conaill and Downlands, and O'Malley here with another strike. Or was that Thompson? That might have been Thompson that time, yeah. Or was it O'Malley? Is that a second 2-pointer? Oni McGarvey's here keeping us right as well. Good man, Oni. Yeah, 2 very similar looking players, and it was O'Malley, and again, just like his first goal, he just popped that up in there and let the breeze carry it. He made it look so simple, but another cracking 2-pointer from him.
Absolutely, and this is what surprises me. I'm actually shocked that they're not going for an awful lot more of these 2-pointers. What the breeze that they have, they're inside again. Owen Scott is now on the ball. Let's see if he puts this one over. That's his first of the day, Brendan.
Yeah, McGettigan finds his range.
Owen Scott, I said there. I'm thinking of the Glen Sully man.
Yes,
Owen
indeed,
McGettigan.
Yes, indeed, McGettigan there finding his range in this game. I say top scorer for the man from Naomh Conaill coming into this game today, and he has registered his first score, and it's been a bit of a scoring spree from the men from Naomh Conaill. After conceding that second goal, they push him out 9 points to 2 goals to Downlands, and Downlands have won a kick out, which is strange for them. The ball's inside to Call. He gives it across to the scorer, McElwee, from the last goal. He's got 3 or 4 Naomh Conaill men round him. He trips, and it's an easy turnover of possession that time. But again, Call finding himself in space, giving it to the danger man, McElwee, but he slipped into an important moment, and Naomh Conaill have possession with Brendan McDyer over the far side.
It's a fantastic ball inside there from the corner back there. Kertarski, we're going to have a hard time pronouncing his name now, Kertarski. But really good vision. Spots McElwee inside, and unfortunately McElwee just slipped at the last minute, but they're really, really dangerous in front of goal, Downings, you feel?
Yeah, they're getting on the ball, coming up this left hand side, gives it back to Ethan O'Donnell. Back from his travels to bolster this Naomh Conaill team. What a great man to have back in, say, particularly with the loss to Kieran Thompson. Doherty coming across the pitch here, gives it in. McGettigan always full of running, but Owen Doherty's pass just that bit too long.
Even the hand pass seems a little long today, Brendan. You know, that one carries it more, I think, than the players anticipate.
Yeah, but McGettigan, one of those players you just find everywhere in the pitch. Serious engine and serious fitness, and he can pop up anywhere, even though he's number 4 in his back.
Yeah, absolutely talented, full talented player, and great scoring ability as well. Even though he hasn't seemed to take the boots today with him, but he got that score last year, which is good. But look, they're not reliant heavily on him, which is a good thing too. But I feel like Naomh Conaill need a few more scores before the break.
Yeah, and they need to. I suppose from a Downlands perspective, they're losing so many kickouts. There's a great battle out there between Kieran Geller and Cian McBride at the midfield. They're the 2 biggest men by some distance out around there. They're having a great battle, but at the minute Gallagher is certainly coming out on top. That's a ball in as McGuinness been held There certainly was a pulling match going on inside. He went for the ball. It went past the two of them. It was almost a goal opportunity. But the man back picking him up, Paul McGrady, has adjudged to have fouled the big full forward for Naomh Conaill.
Yeah, and with 25 minutes there, look, it's Downing's 2 goals and Naomh Conaill 9 points. Still very tight coming to the closing stages of the first half.
Yeah, still very tight because of those 2 breakaway goals from Downings, even though they have been penned in a lot in this match and have conceded a lot in their own kick out, but they're still only 3 behind until this ball is chipped over the bar from Owen McGettigan for his 2nd point of the day, and that free puts Naomh Conaill on 10 points, Downings on 2 goals, and Jordan Nugent will be in no rush to kick this out, because particularly facing in that stiff breeze, it certainly has been a good half so far for Downings. Again, huge ball out. McGuinness has dropped out this time to add a bit of height to midfield. He wins it, gives it to O'Malley. O'Malley's crossing the 45. He's on the left foot. Is it another 2-pointer from O'Malley? Well, I tell you what, John O'Malley has given an exhibition of kicking 2-pointers in this first half, and each one of them he has used the breeze to, just by lobbing the ball up. There was on the left foot there, from this left hand side. His other 2 came on the right hand side, this one on the left hand side, extending Downings out now to double scores.
Yeah, and why not as well? But look, I feel like a lot of these scores is coming from the Downings kick out. Like, I don't know what you would do against that breeze, Brendan, but I feel like they should be going short and trying to get the possession rather than hitting it out, because what's happening is Naomh Conaill have been winning the midfield battle here.
Yes, they have indeed. And again, the ball's going out this time. Eric Doran has adjudged there to be a foul on McBride, and Downings have the ball and take a bit of pressure off their defence. McBride has it, breaking through tackles there. Thompson goes to tackle him, he goes down, and if I was Downings, I'd be in no rush to take this, try and get in at half time, because it was only a few minutes ago that they were on level scores, 2 goals to 6 points, but since then, it was on 20 minutes since then, Naomh Conaill have really upped the gears. They've had 6 points in a row and extended themselves out now to 12 points to 2 goals. But here is an opportunity just outside the 45 or outside the arc, and we've seen from the last kick there, Shields' effort against that breeze, such a difficult a kick to take on a day like this.
Yeah, and we're going to see what comes off this one now. Probably actually left of the post and wide again. That breeze definitely having a big influence on the match here, particularly for Downings, Brendan.
Yeah, still happy enough, I would imagine, in terms of managing to get those 2 goals and managing to get that 6 points on the scoreboard at least. And the kick out coming from McGrath there just went over the fingertips of McDevitt. Downings actually have it now, so both teams doing all right on the opposition's kick out, not so much on their own. Downings now have possession. Naomh Conaill have backed off them. McGrady has it out around 60 yards out. He gives it across to Alex Garowski. Gertowski. Good move. You keep us right there.
We get it between us. We have a lot of elements in our path today, Brendan.
there's a lot of movement going on here, all right. It'll keep us warm anyway. Gertowski now right in that corner, goes to soccer across. Anthony Thompson says, thanks you very much, I'll take that ball. He gives it across the pitch. Big Gallagher's under pressure now as Downings swarming around him, and I suppose you have that 3 up, so at least them and whoever's near them should put pressure on that ball coming out, and that's what they tried to do. But Downings using their experience. Owen Doherty having it for Naomh Conaill, gives it to Finbar Rourke. Finbar's coming up this left hand channel. He invites 2 or 3 tackles. He gives it back to Owen Doherty, who had joined the attack. He's just inside the 45, lets loose with that left foot, and it just goes to the right and wide. Brilliant effort from Doherty there. He could have even taken that a few more steps more. He decided just to unleash that left foot, and just with a few inches the wrong side of that right hand post. Yeah,
and that would have been a sweet score, as we approach the end probably of the first half and maybe the last kick of the game, but a massive effort from him, just short of the post, to be honest, Brendan.
Yeah, so we're on 31 minutes here. It's Naomh Conaill 12 points, Downing's 6, 2 goals that they've got. The Downing's men, 2 great breakaway goals that they got from the big midfielder McBride and from Paddy McElwee. That has been our 2 scores of this half, and it certainly kept them in contention in this tie, playing into a very stiff breeze. We've seen some brilliant 2-point efforts from the men from Naomh Conaill, especially 3 of them from O'Malley, who has been first class in this half. Ethan O'Donnell looking fit on his return, adding a lot to this team. It's back to Brendan McDyer. He's about 50 yards out. He throws the left foot at it. Well, I'll tell you what a score. What a score. That's the score of the day so far from the evergreen Brendan McDyer. And you talk about trying to defend a certain line of the pitch. He was all 60 yards out there and he let fly.
Yeah, what a score going into the break, Brendan, from McDwyer. But look, loads of experience turning inside his man, and had the space and the ability to do it, and had the one behind him as well. And they're really penalising them with the 2-pointers. Oh, and I see referee Dorian is bringing it up again. That Naomh Conaill descent.
Didn't let the play go. It's a 50-yard penalty, taking it right up the pitch. McGrady standing over it.
It was double scores, but it stretches out now. Like, that's them 8 points ahead going on at the half, and they'll be happy with that because they will have an uphill battle. And I can't see any of them scoring 2-pointers in the second half. The Naomh Conaill men.
The 2-point threat will be interesting from Downings. Have they got as many scores? Will remain to see, and we will see in this second half as they break forward up this left-hand side with Pagan Shields. He gives it back across there to number 19. That is Callum Cullen inside the boys. They've maybe worked another. Gartowski gives it across. Is there an opportunity here for a strike? There's a swivel at the big man in there again, which is Cian McBride. Threw the leg at it, soccer style, but it was kept out by the Naomh Conaill defence. A drama again, almost another goal for the men from Downings. And is that how to play it? Into this breeze, you can't. It's very hard to get a shot away for a point, but they've worked it right inside with quick hand passing. They've opened up this Naomh Conaill defence on 3 or 4 occasions for great goal opportunities. They've taken 2 of them, and as we were just saying, the big thing is now in this second half, have they got enough of a 2-point threat, or will Naomh Conaill know that experience and that ability on possession? Will they just invite in attacks and try and hit them on the break?
Yeah, look, a real scramble there at the end to try and get another goal, but look, it shows in the scoreboard. Downing's 2 goals, Naomh Conaill 14 points, and most of them 2-pointers with the advantage of the one. Downings haven't been able to hit a score, hit a point, and you've seen many of the attempts that they've had, the ball have just come right back to almost the position they've kicked it from. So it's going to be very, very interesting now to see how Naomh Conaill will deal with defending out there against because Downings is going to have the breeze here now, Brendan, in the second half, and it's really there's going to be a huge advantage for Downings. But as you say, have their biggest 2-pointer threat as Naomh Conaill have. Again, I feel they're heavily reliant on the likes of Johnny McGrady and Paddy McElwee, who can score 2-pointers and have done in their previous 2 games. But will it be enough?
Yeah, and we're just looking. Jack McKelvey from that tackle must have been on that keyboard. I'm just looking at that from that incident that happened. I don't know if he actually given a card, because as we know in the modern game now, people just back off and no one's actually picking anybody up outside of the 3-on-3. So I think Naomh Conaill might be facing the second half with 14 men, which might count for a lot in terms of their ability. As the game opens up, to be sitting with a man less. Yeah,
well, it certainly will help and be of advantage to Downings. Look, again, Downings will go out in this half now. Perhaps they would have been happier with 6 points, but now it's stretched to 8 points, and that's a lead they're going to have to contend with and try and get in there and try and get the 2-pointers. I feel they're going to have to try and get the 2-pointers, but I also feel Naomh Conaill will sit in there in defence, push forward and attack the odd time, to try and get a score. But Downings will probably try to shoot from long range this time rather than carrying the ball right in. But as you say, if Naomh Conaill are a man down, look, I still feel like they have the experience over Downings here. They've had a really, really good first half. I feel they've had people just taking pop shots and a lot of them have been successful in scoring, as you know. I feel like they just have more experience up front. when you look at the likes of Owen McGettigan only getting to himself there now. Charlie McGuinness is staying really deep in that half. John O'Malley, a couple of class 2-pointers from him. McDwyer, the experience that he has with the 2-pointers. I don't think they're going to be as fortunate in the second half. I would bet I give €100 to anyone maybe that pops over a 2-pointer against that breeze in the second half, because look, some of the Downings inside forwards have tried and it has just come back at them, but it's going to be a different half for Downings. Look, they need to improve, I think, on it now.
And just on confirmation on that Jack McKelvey one, it was for Stampin the same. We've quite a few obstacles here in between us, but McKelvey has definitely got a red card, and of course that is a massive advantage to Downings coming into the second half. And I'm sure at half time, probably after 20 minutes, it was level at 2 goals to 6 points, and I'm sure Maxie Curran was very happy. As it is, Naomh Conaill have really kicked on after that, hitting 8 points in a row with a variation of 2-pointers in there, and particularly I think man of the first half was O'Malley, also McDwyer with that cracking last 2-pointer that he hit from distance. So listen, at half time here at Park na Dunaibh, it's a home side 2 goals, which is 6 points to Naomh Conall's 14 points. We'll be back in the second half for more live coverage here on Donegal GATV and on Highland Radio. Myself and Mo will speak to them. But he gives it outside to McDwyer on the left foot. McDwyer swings it, and that's the opening score. A late replacement, I hadn't got that on the sheet there. Downings on the left hand side now, looking to get inside the cover. That's a great 1-2. Is there a goal on here? Brilliant finish to the back of them. They're doing well, and here's a shot from range, and it's another cracking score by O'Malley. And you can't allow for it, but unforced errors, and you have a simple task for McDwyer, sticking up all over the bar. Gallagher has it back to McKelvey on his weaker right foot. Great score from McKelvey. Ali almost getting Jack McKelvey in. That was a very dangerous moment there. Great. Conaill are really pushing up on them, realising with that breeze they have to make ground, but it's Downings that make ground now. They're coming up this left hand side here, and it's the Ronan Gallagher has the ball. He gives it inside. Is there another chance of a goal here for the men from Downings? And there is. Senior championship game between Naomh Conaill and Downings, and O'Malley there with another strike. Or was that Thompson?
Inside again. Owen Scott is now on the ball. Let's see if he puts this one over. That's his first of the day, Brendan.
Yeah, McGettigan finds
Owen
his range.
Owen Scott.
A lot in this match, and have conceded a lot in their own kick out, but they're still only 3 behind until this ball is chipped over the bar. Brown wins it, gives it to O'Malley. O'Malley's crossing the 45. He's on the left foot. Is it another 2-pointer from O'Malley? Well, I tell you what, adding a lot to this team is back to Brendan McDwyer. He's about 50 yards out. He throws the left foot at it. Well, I tell you what a score. What a score. Yes, welcome back to the Dunaibh. We're having a chat here as ever off mic about proceedings and what we've seen today, and what we have seen, Mo, is a spirited fight from the home side against a vastly experienced top class Naomh Conaill team, and the 2 goals they've got in that first half has certainly given them something to cling on to coming into this second half. In terms of on the scoreboard, they've got the 2 goals. Naomh Conaill have had 14 points, but they are a man down and they're now facing a very stiff breeze. They're yet to come out, and Martin Regan must be putting the final parts of his tactical plan together.
Yeah, listen, I would hope to see a big second half performance now from the home side. Downings here, you know, look, we talk about that one factor, but Downings are here training in these conditions all year round. I know as an underage player I hated to come to Downings because there was always windy conditions down here. There was always a breeze factor. Look, Downings have the advantage of this breeze factor. I can see them lamping the ball in early now to the likes of Paddy McElwee, and Johnny McGruddy will have an influence on there. You know, big Cian McBride in midfield. Ronan Garrett probably get up there, try to take a pop too as well at the 2-pointers. But look, I do feel that they have to try and catch this lead now with a few 2-pointers. It'll be interesting to see, Brendan. I feel that Downings, they got their tactics wrong in the first half. in terms of their kick-outs. They were kicking into that breeze very high, and Naomh Conaill won a lot of the battle in midfield. I felt that they should have went short. It'd be interesting to see how Naomh Conaill will kick into the breeze now, the kick-outs in the second half as well, so that'll be a factor, Brendan.
Yeah, a huge factor is definitely going to be the kick-outs here. We've had a great battle, say, in the first half, particularly with Kieran Gallagher at number 8 for Naomh Conaill against the big man that has come into the club, Cian McBride. His father, of course, is from Downlands here. I say he was in the Meath panel this year that played against Donegal in that All-Ireland semi-final, and he has added a lot to this team with his size and his presence, of course, getting one of those goals in the first half. But he will be key in this second half to try and gain possession. It'll be interesting now as Mark Doran has blown his whistle as we wait for Naomh Conaill to return to the park, because as we were saying, with both sides sitting on 2 points, this is a real it could be a season changer in terms of the trajectory of these two teams. So it is an absolutely vital 2 points here both of these teams are going for today.
Yeah, absolutely, and nobody really wants to go away here not having picked up some points, because look, Naomh Conaill have a tight game next weekend in round 4, I feel, against St Michael as well. Look, Downies might have a wee bit more of a comfort zone against St Naomh. St Naomh's not really rallying well at the bottom of the table, looking at possible relegation, but neither of these two teams sort of want to find themselves in the same position, so this is sort of a key game for them going into round 4 next week. Yeah,
St Naomh's, Ballysan and Glenfin, the only teams not to pick up any points yet in the opening 3 games, and they'll be looking to do something about that next week, no doubt. And as the men from Naomh Conaill say, they must be deep in conversation about how to play this second half, because tactics are absolutely huge. Because if Downings get a run on you with that breeze, if they start to eat under that lead early on, you are under pressure. So I think the big thing, I suppose, from the Naomh Conaill perspective is to sit tight, particularly in that opening, say, 10 minutes, that you don't concede too much. You maybe get a score yourself, you look dangerous, but you try and keep that bit of a lead in there as much as you can, that 8-point lead that's sitting at the minute.
Yeah, that's you're 100% right, Brendan. Like, they have to get the tactics right here against the breeze, but Downings will probably aim to try and get a few 2-pointers in the game. But I always say, like, the new rules, that's the quality of them. That's the exciting part of them. They have changed the game. Like, we used to go on with teams at half time 8-9 points down, and you used to think, listen, they have it, they've a land, they're winning by a landslide here, there's no way in for the second half for any team. But that's not the case now, as you well know. And we get a couple 2-pointers here, and Downies are right back in the game, and they do look particularly dangerous in front of goal as well, and they're well able to take their goals. They got 2 class goals there in this in the first half against a very, very tight breeze.
Yeah,
Naomh Conaill, a few pops, but.
And is it a thing where, because teams are used to clipping the ball over from, say, when you get inside arc round with the 30 yards, the fact that Downers couldn't, they had to keep going, and then you end up with goal opportunities you maybe wouldn't normally have, and they really had probably 4 good ones in that half. They took 2 of them, but I suppose there's something maybe from a Naomh Conaill defensive point of view. You're not used to people working the ball in like that, because if the point's on, they normally take it, so it kind of changes the mindset. And I suppose it's something now that Downings will have to guard, that Naomh Conaill will be working it in, and we've seen runners coming from deep. You talked about the half back line in that first half, all the legs is in it, particularly with Ethan O'Donnell coming back, with obviously the likes of Finbar Rorty breaking from deep, Kevin McGettigan, the Doherty lads, they will punch holes in this Downings defence, so goals could be actually a very dangerous an outcome for Downings themselves in this half.
Yeah, you made a good point. Like, teams are used to other teams popping from outside the D. They're not used to being under pressure in front of goal, and keepers possibly not under as much pressure as Naomh Conaill found themselves in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see how Naomh Conaill are going to play it. But the difference is Naomh Conaill have serious pace on the half back line, and when they overturn a ball, they break at pace through the likes of Ethan O'Donnell, which I've been particularly impressed with. He seems in serious shape out there. He's worked a lot of turnovers for Naomh Conaill today. Anthony Thompson's been brilliant at centre half back, and Finbar Rorty, playing his usual run at his usual ability levels out there as well with the orange boots. So look, we're about to start here, Brendan. I'd like to see Downey's get a few scores on the board early just to make it competitive, just to make it more exciting here, to see who can get away with the 2 points.
Yeah, we're here beside the seaside, but it mightn't be a day for the bucket and spade. It's a day for the woolly hat mo, and you have a good one on you, keeping them ears warm. And as I say, the midfield battle that's been raging all the game between Gallagher and McBride is how we will start this half. Mark Dorian has the ball, he's about to hop it in, the ball goes up in the air, and again it's a foul by Gallagher on the Downlands man McBride. He taps and goes, and Gallagher looked like he just stood in his way a bit, and Mark Dorian is not taking any nonsense at all. He is going to bring that ball forward, and we just want to welcome our listeners on Highland Radio. This game, of course, has been streamed on Donegal GATV and also broadcast on Highland Radio. And say we're just a minute into this second half here. The ball was won by Kieran McBride. He went to tap and go, but he was restricted in his movement. Kieran Gallagher stopped him, and it's resulted in a 50-metre penalty. And John McGrody comes forward and puts it over the bar, Mo, and a 2-point start, just the start that Downlands would have wanted.
Yeah, this is very good start, very positive start for Downies. And what we said, look, they want to get the 2 pointers on the board early. Look, and Mark Dorian just showing his authority out there straight away. He awarded the same kind of free to Naomh Conaill and our Downies in the first half as well. But look, they capitalised on it this time, and 2 points straight away. Yeah,
a minute into this second half, it is Downlands now 2-2. Naomh Conaill 14 points, and it was a kick out from Naomh Conaill. It's been won down there by the men from Naomh Conaill. It was a foul, and Ethan O'Donnell has it, number 23 in his back, gives it out the left hand side. McGettigan has it, giving it forward to Oren Doherty. Naomh Conaill happy to keep the ball down and squeezing out on them, coming much further up the pitch than they did in the first half when they were playing against that stiff breeze, knowing that they can come out and really come after them. Not only do they have a breeze, they have a man spare as well after Jack McKelvey was sent off what looked like stamping. There was very little complaints at the time about the incident by anyone, but certainly the umpire must have said there was a stamp in there, and it looks like that was the reason McKelvey was sent off. Downlands have the ball now, building up on the left, on the right hand side here. McGrody has it, steps in, steps out, gives the ball back. Of course, Downlands are going to have spare men out the back, and that's Ronan Basuma on the ball, gives it across to Boyce. He's making ground. Downlands on the move. Ball come across. Michael Wee has it now just outside the 45. Fambaroti tracking him, knowing he is one of the danger men for Downlands. They've got a man over now. It's a cornerback part. McGinty coming up the pitch. He gives it back to Johnny McGorty. Johnny feeds it out again to Boyce. Downlands will be happy enough they got that opening 2-pointer, which was for an indiscretion after the throw-in, and it was Cian McBride who was impeded as he went forward, and Mark Dorian pulling it forward. McGrady put it over the bar, and McGrady has it again. Oh, it's a corner back there, actually part McGinty that has it. Very similar looking men. The ball's back to the big midfielder Cian McBride. He steps inside, should be a simple attempt, comes off the crossbar, and it's blazed. Was that wide in the end by Shane Call. It hit the post, came down. I think that was wide. The umpire's not too sure because he blazed it high. There was a goal opportunity on the right hand side by Call there. He hit it with the left foot, and in the end the umpire gets the flag. He was under a bit of pressure from the Naomh Conaill faithful that's here today, but in the end it's a score for Call. A great goal opportunity there, but at the end of the day, if you get that point from the goal opportunity, that's something to come away with, and it's Downland's third point of this opening second half.
Yeah, and I think they were just very, very lucky to come away with a point there. Obviously, kind of off the crossbar, maybe the Naomh Conaill keeper got a touch. Shane McGrath in there, who's to know, but very, very controversial. They thought it was going to be wide, but they actually scored on. So actually, the crowd is very controversial here.
Yep, we're having to stand here, as Mo was saying. We're getting blown about a wee bit. Our notes are going everywhere, but we'll do our best to keep this going for you. Owen McGettigan taking that ball in the right-hand corner, giving it back out to McDevitt. He gives it across to Oren Doherty. Oren Doherty has Fambaroti waiting outside him, and Downlands knowing that they can go chasing this ball because they're a man up. They have a man up and they have the breeze. There's a bit of a coming together in the middle there, a couple of bodies down. McDevitt has it, he makes ground, he tries to flick it inside, the ball goes up in the air. That's a bad turnover ball for Naomh Conaill there. Simple possession given away. And the foul coming in from Charles McGuinness. A yellow card is branded to him. And before Call can do the tap and go, he's pulled back there. But certainly, Mo, a bit of life coming into this game in the second half. You know, the crowd getting into it as well. And certainly Downing's tails is up.
Yeah, they certainly are. Look, and they're on the bounce and they're out here and they mean business in the second half. But I think Naomh Conaill got a taste or a flavour of the wind there, you know. Was it maybe Charles McGuinness had that ball, it came straight back at him. So, you know, that's been happening to Downies for the full run of the first half. And he, of course, picked up a yellow card there as well. So Naomh Conaill need to be careful here because they're already a man down, Brendan.
Yep, they've made a good start to the second half. Have the local side here, Downings. They have now 9 points on the board, trailing Naomh Conaill by 5 points, and we've seen scoring bursts in these games where the defending team has dominated the opposition's kick out, and again it seems so difficult to get out. That huge advantage, it used to be your own kick out was the kick out you had massive advantage on. That'll swing now in the new rules.
Yeah, it definitely has, and look, we've seen an awful lot of that here throughout this game now and into the second half as well. But I do feel Naomh Conaill are a wee bit more structured in defence than maybe Downies were in the first half. Downies still finding it very, very difficult to get inside, and that attack play, they're very happy to sort of hold on to the ball and the possession out around the arc until they get a man able maybe for a 2-pointer, Brendan. But I feel like they should really attack in packs now and try and get a few more scores on the board, because that one is a huge advantage out there, and Naomh Conaill are definitely feeling the pressure.
Yep, we haven't really had a relevant Naomh Conaill attack so far in this second half. And again, it's the men from Downings with Ronan Gallagher that have possession. And of course, a spare man is very useful in any game, and it's going to be useful in this second half as they build up there with Gertowski. Ball coming in there now. The half forward is Ronan Plasoma, but he is tackled by Finbar Rorty, and we've seen him do that many times over the course of the year with Donegal. They had one possession, but Downings with extra bodies up there put the pressure on Naomh Conaill coming out. And AJ Gallagher, I think Dorian might have says that the referee, Mark Dorian, I think says he touched it on the ground. He was tackled, and much like the first half, both teams looking at paying each other in. And again, even though Naomh Conaill turned over the ball, they've eventually given a free away, which McGrady now will line up.
Yeah, and he should pop it over as well. But look, a brilliant turnover firstly by Finbar Rorty, but of course I think it might have been Anthony Thompson or one of those that maybe handed on the ground, and Mark Dorian just give that free in, and this isn't scoring ability for McGrady.
Yeah, and McGrady does what he does best. He taps that over the bar, making it Downings 2-4, Naomh Conaill 14. We're 7 minutes into this second half here at Park na Dunaibh, a very blustery Park na Dunaibh. It does feel like the wind has maybe settled a small bit so far, Mo. We haven't had our notes blown away. In a few minutes now, we're holding on.
But for us it's a great thing. Maybe not for Downies. I think they'd rather remain with a tight breeze there at their backs. Yeah,
ball broken down there by Downings, but it came straight to Owen Doherty from Tiernan McBride's break. Naomh Conaill have it now. They get it to Ethan O'Donnell, who has looked sharp in this game so far. Very good on the ball. He gives a left foot kick pass over the top there to the on-running Kevin Gallagher, who couldn't get the ball under control. And Cian McBride, who's back tracking him, seemed to pick up a bit of a knock. Barney Kern coming on to give him a bit of magic sponge and get
the
him
magic water, as we used to call it.
Get him up and going.
Listen, I feel like, when Naomh Conaill do get up the field, Downey seem that little bit exposed, and if they get anyway, if a good ball connected with one of the inside forwards, I feel like they'll be in for goal. But something that Downey certainly don't want at this stage. I think they need to chip away at the score here as best as they possibly can. They still trail here with 9 minutes gone in the second half. Yeah,
took a small chance there coming out with possession. As Mo was saying, 9 minutes into the second half, the home side certainly have an advantage in this game because they're playing with a stiff breeze with a man up, and they only trail by 4 points currently, and it's been a bit stop-start. There's been quite a few fouls in the second half, and a lot for Mark Dorian to deal with, players getting knocked, so it hasn't really hit any flow yet, but any flow that it has come from the men from Downlands, as they have hit 4 points in the second half. And Naomh Conaill yet to register, and is saying because of Jack McKelvey's red card, this is certainly going to be a tough 20 minutes for the men from Glenties and Fintown. McBride has it now. He does a skip, he has a run. Is there another foul there? McDorian says play on. It's a fisted ball inside. Downlands looking to work the angle. McGrady tried to get the shot away, and it's another foul, and the Naomh Conaill crowd not happy at all with that decision. And again, this is giving McGrady an opportunity to bring this back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is no different from the one he just struck from the left hand side. We're on the sea side here really of the pitch, and Mark Dorian, look, must have been getting some lip from some of the Naomh Conaill. Is taking it straight in front of goal, 13 metres out, so this is a dead cert score.
Yeah,
for
Mark
Downings.
Dorian isn't taking any lip today, whether that be on the pitch or wherever that shot came from. He has the rights to pull that ball forward, and I think McGrady would have put it over anyway, but now he's made it a simple 13-yard free right in the centre of the goals. And with 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes into the second half, Downings now have 2-5, Naomh Conaill 14 points, and they're creeping right up more, and this lead has been eaten into very quickly in the second half. And unlike Downlands, who had goal opportunities and registered goals, particularly that early one in the first half, we aren't seeing that from Naomh Conaill.
No, we aren't seeing that goal threat from Naomh Conaill. But again, Brenda, keep coming back to it. Like, they are under serious pressure from that one, and it aided Naomh Conaill with those 2 pointers in the first half. And now we can see it's definitely benefiting Downings. And Naomh Conaill are kicking right out into it, and Downings are winning the kickouts.
Yep, and McBride has won it again. He gives it inside. The ball breaks there. Naomh Conaill tackling in numbers and tenaciously as well. Boyce has it. The crowd are looking for an overcarry. The fisted ball by Boyce goes straight to AJ Geller. McGuinness picks it up, gives it to O'Donnell. He works it up the line. McDavid has it now. There's a man over on this side. It's Owen Doherty. Is there a kick pass on? O'Malley shoots for him. He comes out around. The tackle comes in from Paul McGrady. Still McDavid has it. He gives it inside to McGettigan. He drops his shoulder. McBride holds him up, but illegally so, says Mark Dorian, and it's given the first opportunity for a score for the men from Naomh Conaill. And it's Brendan McDyer who had a brilliant first half, kicking the score of the game for me so far from about 50 metres out, which is the last score of the second half. And we have a sub on there, Danny McBride. The very experienced Danny McBride has joined the fray. He is in for Shane Call, and that experience I'm sure will be telling for the men from Downlands. So McDyer from the ground, he elects not to take it because of that breeze. He gives a short to O'Malley. He looked for it back, but O'Malley decides instead to go back out to McDavid around the house. Finbar Rourke taking it now outside the 45. Just looking to bring a bit of calm to this game, because Naomh Conaill have been under the cosh here so far in these opening 13 minutes of this half. They've seen their lead. There was 8 points at half time, really knocked back to just 3 points in it now, and they're looking to try and register something on the scoreboard. They haven't had much of an opportunity so far in this half. Gallagher giving it across to McGettigan. The ball's given across Doherty there. Bit of a loose pass, but there's no Downlands man there to intercept it. It comes into the grateful arms of Finbar Rourke. Rourke now right hand side, checks inside, gives it back to McDavid, looking to make that angle. Downs with 2 or 3 men back. The fist of ball's inside. Rourke continues to run. Goal chance on, and he dragged it to the right and wide to get in the round. Gertowski there hadn't tracked the runner. It was a simple fist pass, and the goals could be massive in this game. They were for Downlands in the first half. That was the first opportunity. Finbar Rourke coming in from the right hand side, Mo, but he snatched it at low. He needed to go far side of the keeper or roof it, and I suppose a let off for Downlands.
Absolute let off for Downlands. But do you know what? A real shocker that he missed that one. He was right just in front of goal for a left footer. As you say, he should have probably put it across the goal. Instead he went to the near post and it just went wide. But you can see Naomh Conaill aren't even trying to take their points out here. But that one, they're trying to bear down on goal and getting in there. Like even Kevin McGettigan's up assisting and Anthony Thompson come into that play as well. They just managed to get inside and they were very unfortunate not to get a goal there.
So the biggest hope for Naomh Conaill in the second half is to do what Downlands did. It looks like they might need a couple of goals if they're going to win this match, because certainly when it comes to points, they're going to be outscored heavily by the home side in this second half, which is 15 minutes in. As I say, it is Downlands 2-5, Naomh Conaill 14 points, so 11 plays 14. The kick out is to come here for the men from Downlands. As Jordan Nugent puts it out wide, and we have a big man versus a wee man, and it's been won by the big man, which is Paul McGrody. He wins that ball. Was it off the ground? The crowd thinks so, and so does Mark Dorian as well, and everyone now realising the pressure that's in this game and the pressure for these two teams who are both sitting on 2 points after 2 games, and this is round 3, this rearranged game, so a vital match for both of these clubs in terms of the progression in the senior championship this year. Naomh Conaill now, just in the last few minutes, have started to get their hands on the ball. They've started to work themselves into the second half, which was dominated early on by Naomh Conaill. And the ball comes inside. It's Rorty who's found himself up the pitch with a second goal opportunity. I say after Downlands had dominated the opening exchanges in this half, Naomh Conaill have really commanded, and Rorty that time with a second opportunity found himself in the back, no one picking him up.
Yeah, and I mean, again, what a brilliant save there as well, just at the last minute. But Rorty playing very, very deep there. He's playing now. He's in and full forward there. He's got the last couple of opportunities to take a goal. But look, Naomh Conaill are applying the tactic of going for goals instead of maybe chipping over the points, because they are finding themselves running range.
Yeah, Downlands have it again after a period where Naomh Conaill were working themselves back in, threatened 2 goal opportunities, didn't take any of them. Downlands have it now down in the right hand corner. The ball given back to McBride. They'll need McBride's experience in here today. He gives it back to the full back line, Tiernan McBride. Across to Boyce. Boyce has it. Sullivan looking for options. Tackle coming in for Moran Doherty. Boyce survives it, gives it to McBride, a 1-2, the pass is loose, so, and a simple possession given out and a coming together there. I think it was purely accidental. It actually was 2 of the Naomh Conaill men. Alton Doherty, I think, clashed with Kevin McGettigan there. I think the shoulder of Doherty might have cost McGettigan in the face, as we have another substitution. Shay Malone is on for Anthony Thompson in the Naomh Conaill team.
And I think that's a very interesting change. You know, I don't think or feel that Anthony Thompson's been doing anything wrong. Maybe he's carrying a bit of a knock, you know.
We haven't actually got the Naomh Conaill substitutes, and those things certainly make a commentator's job not that easy. But anyway, we got the information that Shay Malone is entering the fray, and as Mo was saying, Thompson, who for me was having a decent game in there, but fresh legs on.
What's interesting as well there, just back to that run of play there, Brendan, as well, like Cian McBride, you know, like I don't think he anticipated how much was behind his fist path, because it just overplayed for Oisín Boyce and he lost. That's what happened there. They lost possession and they were very steady on the ball. And look, Downlands can't afford to be lost in possession, especially when on the attack. They need to try and drill Naomh Conaill down and get a few more scores on the board, because Naomh Conaill are trying hard at the other side for the goal opportunity, and I feel like they get a goal opportunity, it's going to be very tricky for Downlands to get back into this.
Yeah, indeed. It's a very important period of the game here, because after a blistering start, Downlands haven't registered the last 10 minutes, and this time Ethan O'Donnell's been sent through on goal. He's on the left foot. He wanted to go on his left foot, and a great last-ditch tackle in there, and it's actually resulted in a kick out, a goal kick to the men from Downlands, and again a brilliant passage of play there. Naomh Conaill again threatening, but the big man Cian McBride, who's been all over the pitch today, held his ground, realising maybe O'Donnell wanted to check in that left foot. He didn't allow it, and when he came across on his right, the tackle was made. It came back off Ethan and ended up being a goal kick And now it's gone the other side of the pitch, and it's McElwee with the score, and that was a massive period in the game there, Mo.
Absolutely, and I mean, look, Ethan O'Donnell was bearing down a goal. It was 2v1, and he decided to take the player on himself. But a fantastic bit of defensive play from the midfield, Cian McBride there, Devaney. And I do believe that could be a turning point in this game. Like,
yeah,
you know? Massive
stuff, great defending. You talk about holding your ground, you know. There's no doubt Ethan wanted to check in that left foot, and when he wasn't allowed, there probably was that pass inside. But again, 3 big goal opportunities from Naomh Conaill, none of them taken. Now they are still dangerous, even with 14 men on the break, and have won the ball. Charles McGuinness have it again. It's O'Donnell is raiding up this left hand side. Gartowski coming back in, putting a good challenge in, and out with it. Part McGinty back in with that extra bodies, with that extra number, feeding it out there. Ronan Pasuma on the ball, and now down it's coming out, and they're adjudged to have over carried, and that was Ronan Pasuma there. And again, simple possession given away to the men from Naomh Conaill. And listen, Mark Dorian has been sharp today with his decisions, but he's been consistent throughout.
Yeah, look, and he's been on top of things, I feel, because he's been consistent for both teams, Brendan.
Owen McGettigan, haven't seen that much of Owen today. He's certainly by far Naomh Conaill's top scorer coming into this game. Of 114 from the opening 2 games, but has had a quiet game so far by his own high standards. Owen Doherty's been all over the pitch today, full of energy, full of running, as is this man Finbar Rorty, giving it back to McDyer, who would normally swing the left foot at this, but he can't because of the breeze. He decides to dig it inside. A brilliant ball. Shane Malone there. Shane Malone getting his first taste of the action that time, and the foul coming in, and he's won his side a foul more, and this will be really, it's within range now because it's 13 yards out. You'd imagine Brendan McDyer will get Naomh Conaill first score of the half.
Yeah, look, this is a definite scoring range for Brendan on his out on the right hand side on his left foot. And he comfortably puts it over the bar to give Naomh Conaill a first score. That's their first score since injury time. That fantastic 2-pointer from McDyer at the very end of the the first half, Brendan.
Yeah, so 2-6 plays 15 with 51.5 minutes gone here. The kick-out's coming from Jordan Nugent here. This game is certainly in the melting pot. Another battle out there, and it's Gallagher who hadn't as big an effect in the second half, but he won the ball clean there in possession. There's 9/10 of the law, and it's the Naomh Conaill men that have it, and after a tough opening 10 minutes, they've certainly steadied the ship. They're getting possession of the ball, and Gallagher again dominating the skies there, setting up this attack. McDyer shipping it back to Gallagher again. Downham's pushing out, realising they can go after them, particularly with that spare man. They can go at least man to man and still have a sweeper in there. So it's Owen Doherty over on that far side. He has been everywhere in this pitch today, giving it back to McGettigan, who is very deep in this second half. Foul coming in, but Mark Dorian allows it to play on. Finbar Rorty rides the tackle, gives it across to McDevitt. McGettigan is in the overlap. Finbar Rorty trying to get through. Danny McBride was holding him up there. Crowd not happy with that at all. There was a bit of wrestling going on, but Mark Dorian, as we have play on, as out busting up the pitch comes Ronan Gallagher, gives it to McGrady. Is there a kick pass on inside? He looks for it. Has McElwee been held? The ball comes across. Heavy tackle comes in there, and Parrot McGinty. And listen, that's meat and drink to Naomh Conaill. You know, you can't take the ball. If you've got to use that ball quick, pass and move, give the kick pass and keep moving, because once you come into traffic and you have 3 Naomh Conaill players around you, there's only one outcome, and it's the ball overturned.
Yeah, and that's what happened the last few times. They're brilliant at hunting in packs. When they get a man broke down at all, when they break the tackle, they're in, they're harrying, they're hassling, and most of the time there's a free awarded in there to their advantage.
That time Oisin Bosch was doing his best on McGettigan there, but he fouled him as he kicked the ball. It's possession again to Naomh Conaill, and the substitute Shane Malone, whose first act in the game was to win his team a foul to get their only score of the second half, which has pushed them back out on the scoreboard to 3 points. 2-6 plays 15. Downing's home team are on 2-6. Naomh Conaill 15 points, 54 minutes gone in this game. And I think at the minute they've gone happy to just get themselves stable in this second half, because they faced a bit of an onslaught early on from Downlands, but they've certainly used their experience. But O'Malley this time has taken the ball into contact. It was lucky to get away with it there. It was chipped up out of his hands. Ethan O'Donnell has it, McDyer has it, the fist inside, and there's Owen McGettigan, and he fists the ball over from a tight angle, and Downlands will not be happy with themselves there. They had that ball overturned. They had O'Malley in the line. They had knocked it out of his hands. He managed to get a toe to it, and it was worked around, and a couple of hand passes, and then coming in, maybe a potential goal opportunity again. But McGettigan, I think, taking the right opportunity.
The absolute right opportunity there, and you have to give credit where credit's due. Naomh Conaill hung on to the ball there. They stayed steady, they were patient, and a very, very good passage of attack play that ended up on Owen McGettigan in front of the net. And this time, instead of going for goal, which I felt he took the right choice, he put the ball over the bar, and it was a fantastic score there at the end by him. But this certainly puts Downies really need to get up the field now. I feel, we're into the second half of this half, Brendan, and Downies need to get a score.
Yeah, there's been the benches have been unloaded here. Gary Ban McClaverty is off there for Kyle McFadden. Is it? Come on there. Yeah, good man. Dara keeping me right here, as I say, on the changes that's happening out in front of us. As Downlands have won it. There's a stop and play there. Nobody knew what happened there, but Naomh Conaill profited from it. They're saying play on. Malone has rounded the Downlands defence, and from what should have been a simple score, he showed Ronald Gallagher a clean pair of heels there, dropped the shoulder and by in from this right hand side. Well, but again, was it that breeze or was it a poor attempt at goal? You would have thought there was a score on, maybe even a fisted opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I was going to commend Downies, because to be fair to Downies, they have been winning their kickouts very well in the second half with the one compared to the first half. But I think it was McBride in the middle of the field. I think the referee blew for a marker, but then dropped the ball. Play continued. He was standing still, and Naomh Conaill were on the attack, and very, very unlucky not to get a score from it. Yeah,
good score from them indeed. Out to 4 points again. But another indiscretion, and we've seen a few of them today. And as I say, Mark Dorian hasn't messed about. He has wanted the new rules to be adhered to the letter of the law, and anything in between has been penalised. And after a good score there, taking it out to 4 points again, Downlands, the home team, have a chance to pull it back to 3, which should be a straightforward kick. Now, instead of that happening, McGrody has decided to go for the 2-pointer.
He's pulled it back out here.
A big moment in the game here. Can he have that 4-point deficit and take it back to 2 points? McGrady, he's just at the 45 here. He's going to take his run up just to the edge of the arc, very central with that breeze behind him. It was a great decision to go for it, Mo. He takes the 2-pointer and brings it back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, and look, this is the beauty of the new rules, Brendan, is that players have to make a choice, a choice like that, to try and take 2 points instead of 1. But he used his brain there. He took the ball out, knew it was within his distance. Even without the breeze, it's within his distance. But he had the breeze behind his back, and what a super score for Downies, and a much needed time in the game.
Yeah, almost 22 minutes into this second half here, and it's back to a 2-point game, and it's all about possession. And Downlands have won that, and have won themselves a free. It was collected out there in the middle, and Mark Dorian has adjudged a foul to be given to the Downlands men. I think it was Big McBride in there who's having a real battle. No, actually it was Paul McGrody. Sorry, well done, Paul. One in possession, and he's given it across to Johnny McGrody. Looked like he was going to have a goal, but he gives it outside to the evergreen Danny McBride coming in right hand side there. He was across to McCruddy. You can see an urgency from the Naomh Conaill defence.
Downies really need to capitalise on this, Brendan. 59 minutes on the clock, and they're 2 points down here.
It's a huge kick. What a score from Oisin Boyce there, and talk about taking leadership, taking ownership of it. The big midfielder, the ball was rotated back to him, and with the top of his foot, Mo, just showing the strength of that breeze, he put it up more like a couple of O'Malley's and McDyer's. He popped the ball up in the direction of the goal and carried right over the bar for the equalising score.
Yeah, using the one completely to their advantage. Look, as I say, 59 minutes and 51 seconds on the board. Downing's 2:10. Naomh Conaill 16 points. It makes for an interesting couple of minutes here now, Brendan.
Yeah, you mentioned the draw before the game. They're unusual now with the way the scoring's going, but they're drawing now, as I say, with 59 minutes on the clock. But it's Naomh Conaill that have won it, and it's Malone, the sub. He's looked very dangerous in the second half. He gives it across to O'McGettigan on the left foot. O'McGettigan plants it over the bar with normal time almost up. And Malone, you talked about coming on for Thompson. He certainly has proved a thorn in the side of Downlands. He's popping up over the pitch. He gave it to McGettigan on the left foot and edging Naomh Conaill back into the lead again.
I mean, they just penalised Downlands there. It just goes to show you cannot fall asleep against a team like this, because they will punish you.
One ball out, McGuinness is coming out round the midfield. Add a bit of strength to that, but the ball breaks over his hands, and it comes to the Downlands man who does well to keep possession.
An opportunity maybe for another 2-pointer here.
Yeah.
McGrady standing over it.
It was Kyle McFadden might have won that foul there for the Downlands men. Yeah, it was him that came out. He was named to start, but he was on the bench. He's been introduced in the second half. He wins that ball, held on tight. There was 3 Naomh Conaill men around him, and again, well, what a massive opportunity now after Naomh Conaill going a point up for McGrady. Now this is a difficult one. It's much further out. By the time he hits it, I'd imagine he'd be on about 46-47 yards, but well within his range.
Listen, it's a real pressure kick, Brendan, one that I wouldn't want to be facing now, but he does have the advantage of the one at his back. But what a way for them to go ahead in this game. That'd be a super score.
Yeah, McGrady, reason the importance of this game, he's taking this kick, he's taking his time with the kick. He comes up right footed, he puts it up on the breeze. It's going way out to the right. Is it going to come in? No. I mean, from that distance, sometimes he was really looking to carry it, but you know, sometimes when you're trying to get that distance in it, it's hard to get the accuracy right as well, and he didn't that time. So listen, Shane McGrath has it here now, the Naomh Conaill keeper. He'll be in no rush to kick this ball out, and listen, well, possession is vital now for the men from Downlands if they're going to try and get an equaliser.
Absolutely, and look, again it comes down to decision making, and will he regret that decision to try and go for the 2-pointer at the end of the game, because now it's a kick out in terms of Naomh Conaill. They have the possession, the ball's kicked out, up they go in the middle, down. Naomh Conaill come away with it.
Yeah, foot falls. It's O'Malley picked it up. He gives it up the pitch here. Finbar Rorty has it. Brick Malloy is on the park. Shea Malone has it. Naomh Conaill know now if they even keep possession, it might be enough, but O'Malley has found himself right inside. He gives it back again to Doherty. Doherty, who's been everywhere today, on the left foot, and that is a huge score. Say, Owen Doherty, what a player, what a game he has had today, and it's fitting that he pops that ball over the bar. A 1-2 with O'Malley. Now they've got that 2-point, and at least the insurance of not being caught by a late 2-pointer themselves.
Yeah, that gives them a bit of a cushion now. But as I say, look, McGrady will be probably kicking themselves to have converted that 2-pointer, because you know that would have put them a point up. Certainly what they would have needed. Now Naomh Conaill find themselves 2 points in the lead, and they're going to certainly try and get their hands on this kick out now, Brendan.
Yeah, big kick out coming from Jordan Nugent. The men from Downlands are going to have to get their hands on it and work an opportunity, or they're going home today with no points from this game. The ball breaks. McGuinness wins it, and as he went down for it, he got a kick in the hand, and the ref marked down has awarded Naomh Conaill a free. The clock has 62 minutes 40 seconds on it here. Remains to be seen how much more time will be played. It's Downlands 2-10. It's Naomh Conaill 18 points. The Naomh Conaill men are 2 points to the good. Will they see out this game? It remains just to be seen how much time Mark Dorian plays. Kick forward is to Shane Malone, right out on that left hand side. He's had a lot of energy to this Naomh Conaill forward line in the second half. Gives it across to Gallagher. Finbar Rorty is free with loads of space just outside the 45. He's crossing it inside the arc. He gives it across to Brick Malloy. He's on the pitch. Malloy looks to pull a foul, but it's play on. So Owen McGettigan has it. Owen, knowing that Naomh Conaill men can keep the ball now. Will they go for another score? Will they keep it? Gallagher gives it inside to Owen Doherty. Scored the last point. He's on the left foot again. This time, no. He puts the ball to the left and wide. And has Mark Dorian called time on this game? As the umpire decided. It's a wide. It is a wide. It is
we
a
don't
wide.
know
We have
what's
a wee
going
bit
on.
of
One of the
confusion
umpires
about
is
this.
lifting the flag. The others could have been wide,
the
and
umpire
it's very
signaling there
confusing.
to cancel the score.
The scoreboard hasn't changed.
Possession vital now. Jordan Nugent gives it long. Who's going to win it? Is it the blue and white of Naomh Conaill? And it is. They recycle it back. Ethan O'Donnell gets it, gives it to Malone, who's had a big impact since he's come on. O'Malley, who hit them 3 2-pointers in the first half, he's been a bit quieter in the second half, but had a big part to play in that Naomh Conaill lead. And Doherty, who's played so well, adjudged there to foul the ball. Downlands have it now. Can they conjure up a score? The scoreboard is saying that that point is on the board there, Mo, so it looked like it was called, it was maybe cancelled, but remains to be seen. Maybe it'll matter not unless Downlands can get up the pitch and get a 2-pointer, which they're doing their best to do. Danny McBride has it now, gives it across to Paul McGruddy. Paul gives it to Oisin Boyce. Boyce has it now just outside the arc. Can they get a shot away? John McGruddy's coming looking for it, but McBride doesn't give it to him. He gives it across to Ronan Gallagher. Naomh Conaill coming out tackle. Michael Wee has it. Michael Wee's been tackled by 3 or 4. Gives the ball inside, but he's inside the arc. They need to come back out around and work it. Michael Wee has to go for it in the left foot. A huge kick from Michael Wee. It carries to the left and wide. He had to go for it, Mo.
Yeah, he had to go for it, you know, but like, look, I feel like they were trying to get maybe for another goal there, which what they needed. We're deep into injury time here, Brendan. It looks like it's over. I'd say Mark Doherty will be blowing it up. The crowd are kind of on his back here. And Downings.
Yeah. The clock reads 66 minutes here. It's Downlands 2-10 and the scoreboard saying Naomh Conaill 19, and that is the last kick of the half, and it is the men from Naomh Conaill who come through and take the 2 points here in this round 3 game. It was a highly entertaining game, of course a game of 2 halves because of the breeze, and at the start of that second half when Downlands hit the opening 3 points, you really thought they were going to really come after Naomh Conaill, but Naomh Conaill really steadied the ship and shown their vast experience in that second half.
Yeah, look, and I think that in the end, Brendan, you'll probably agree, it was the experience that that won outright in the end. A valiant second half display from Downings. You know, they had the one at their back, but you got to give credit where credit's due, that Naomh Conaill worked the ball in superbly at different stages of the game and different stages of the second half. They were in goal, quite unlucky maybe not to get the goal from Finbar Rorty, but you know, look, again, you talked about experience. McDwyer, Owen McGettigan fisting the ball over the bar when he could have went for a goal. They just they notched away at it, they headed, they kept the head, and look, McGruddy will be kicking himself with the 2-pointer. At that stage there were only a point between them. I think would have been better to play it off and go for the point.
Yeah. Had either was that a 2-point situation though? I don't know if there was an option there, was there?
Did he, maybe was he outside the arc? Maybe it wasn't.
I think he just had to go for that. But you know, I know what you mean. For him, Mo, it still was a point that he could kick, and just with that, even with that breeze, sometimes when you try and put that power behind it, it can screw off the boot, as it did that time. And really, it was a huge effort from Downlands. You know, you really felt them open the 10 minutes that they were going to win this match, but as I say, the experience of it and when it came down to it, particularly as you're saying, for me, Owen Doherty possibly shaded man of the match. Have you got a choice on that?
Listen, look, I actually thought Finbar Rorty was all over the field today, you know, as well. There's a number of Naomh Conaill players that you could give it to, but look, their experience, they were a player down going into the second half. They lost McKelvey, they emptied pretty much the bench, they took Thompson off, and still the players like Malone had a massive impact when he come on. Like, I felt some of the Downings players today didn't get into the game. Ronan Gallagher just didn't have as much of an influence on the game as he should have had. Maybe McBride in the middle of the field. The fact that they lost the kickouts in the second half didn't change the strategy. Look, there'll be a number of reasons. They'll go back to the drawing board and they'll be asking themselves a lot of questions. But look, They have an opportunity again next week. If St Naomh's, as I said, we talked about them being in relegation. I feel like Naomh Conaill needed the points here, needed the one here today, and they really, really stood tall out there today. The likes of McGuinness, McDwyer, McGettigan, they all rose for them. Van Rorty, Doherty would be the two main players for me there today. Yeah. But like,
I thought Gallagher midfield as well in terms of winning that primary position. Maybe more so in the first half, along with O'Malley. They had brilliant first halves. I think all in all, McGettigan, he said, was everywhere. I thought particularly for me, McDwyer, very good first half. Owen Doherty as well. I thought just was all over the pitch. You say Malone had a big impact. Ethan O'Donnell when he came back, and there was so much effort from the home side here. Michael Wee had his moments. Johnny McGordy was dangerous as ever. I thought Keane McBride has obviously added so much to this team at midfield. He had a great battle with Kieran Gallagher throughout. But do you want to put a name on man of the match?
Do you know what? I still go back to Rorty. I feel like he was all over the place.
Rorty?
Do you know? And
I would argue you.
Sometimes the defenders don't get enough recognition, Brendan. But it's the scorers. We're always scoring. We get the recognition. But I felt he was out on his feet today.
Brilliant.
He was top job.
There he is, Finbar Rorty. Finbar can join us for a couple of minutes here for a bit of reaction. Good man. You give him that mic there. Right here, just Finbar, to we say hello to you. We can always pick you up with them nice boots of yours. So man, you ended up operating more in the forward line in the second half. What a battle that was, particularly in terms of conditions. Very much a game of two halves, and of course having to play the second half with 14 men.
Yeah, no, so it's more up there because I was wrecked, to be honest, more the fitness wise. But we always knew it was going to be a dogfight down their home pitch. Bad day, and they were up for it definitely. And just happy to get out with that win. We made it hard on ourselves now. Yeah,
it's been a tough opening championship for you in terms of going away to Glen Swilly, and then of course you had the derby with Ardran now coming down to a much improved Downing side today. It's been three big battles for you. It hasn't been easy so far, but now you're on 4 points.
Three massive battles, but that's not even just ourselves. The whole championship this season has been very competitive. Big teams losing against other teams that you think they'd have won over, but it's been a very competitive championship, and it's good to see.
Yeah, and of course it doesn't get any easier. St Michael's next week.
That'll be a big one. Must-win game, so we'll be targeting a big performance there again. And tell me, just the sending off of McKelvey, do you know what that was? People were saying it was for a stamp. Did you see that? To be honest, I don't know. I wasn't looking at it. I just seen the keeper down, and Jack was walked. Referee called him back, and next thing you know, it's a red. But here, you can't complain about it now. Referee's decision, the final decision, and just to get on with it. Yeah, and Martin Cape just in at half time. Was that a lot of tactics was being talked, or was it really a backs to the wall, sitting that you were on 2 points? That this was going to be a huge second half in terms of your year and your championship? To be honest, there wasn't too much change. We knew second half they had the win, so we had to up the intensity from what the first half was, and I think we really dogged it out, and in the end we got the win. Yeah, and Ethan O'Donnell back, of course you've had to do without Kieran Thompson. Tragic, you've lost him through that injury, but having Ethan back in there today, he looks super fit and ready to go. It's a massive lift to have Ethan back. Kieran Thompson, we all know what he's capable of, and it's a big miss for the club, and boys are going to have to step up now, and Ethan's a good man to have back. Yeah, and you yourself, you're flying. You've had some year for Donegal. We've been supporting you all year, and now you have to lift it for the club again. The energy levels are good, yeah? Yeah, and all the energy levels are good. Hey, we're looking forward to the rest of the year and seeing what we can do with the team we have. Yeah, Ethan O'Donnell, you are the man of the match. Mo picked you there, and she knows her football really well. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. That was Donegal GATV. That's a wrap up for Dunaibh, where Naomh Conaill have come through in this round 3 fixture. They're going home with the points. They're sitting on 4, playing St Michael's next week. We'll be bringing in lots of more streaming matches as the year goes on. Of course, to all our listeners on Highland Radio as well. That's the end of our coverage now. I want to thank Mo for on CoCom today, and Shane here for producing us, and Sinead Breen here for looking after us as well. Thanks very much. We'll speak to you later. Amen. He's making ground. He's carried it 30-40 yards. There's a man inside, but he gives it outside to McDwyer on the left foot. McDwyer swings it, and that's the opening score. A late replacement. I hadn't got that on the sheet there. Downlands on the left hand side now, looking to get inside the cover. That's a great 1-2. Is there a goal on here? Brilliant finish to the back of the... They're doing well, and here's a shot from range, and it's another cracking score by O'Malley. You can't allow for, but unforced errors
and you have a simple task for McDyer, sticking that ball over the bar. Gallagher has it back to McKelvey on his weaker right foot. Good score from McKelvey. Ali almost getting Jack McKelvey in. That was a very dangerous moment there. Naomh Conaill are really pushing up on them, realising with that breeze they have to make ground, but it's Downlands that make ground now. They're coming up this left hand side here, and it's the Ronan Gallagher has the ball. He gives it inside. Is there another chance of a goal here for the men from Downlands? And there is. Senior championship game between Naomh Conaill and Downlands, and O'Malley here with another strike. Or was that Thompson?
Inside again. Owen Scott is now on the ball. Let's see if he puts this one over. That's his first of the day, Brendan.
Yeah, McGettigan finds
Owen
his
McGettigan, Owen Scott.
A lot in this match, and they've conceded a lot in their own kick out, but they're still only 3 behind until this ball is chipped over the bar. He wins it, gives it to O'Malley. O'Malley's crossing the 45. He's on the left foot. Is it another 2-pointer from O'Malley? Well, I tell you what, adding a lot to this team is back to Brendan McDyer. He's about 50 yards out. He throws the left foot at it. Well, I tell you what a score. In his movement, Kieran Gallagher stopped him, and it's resulted in a 50-metre penalty. And John McGrory comes forward and puts it. Cian McBride, he steps inside. Should be a simple attempt. Comes off the crossbar, and it's blazed. Is that wide in the end?
Mark Doreen just give that free in, and this isn't scoring ability from McGrory.
Yeah, and McGrory does what he does best. He taps at the goals. And with 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes into the second half, Downey back off Ethan, and ended up being a goal kick. And now it's gone the other side of the pitch, and it's McElwee
out on the right hand side on his left foot, and he comfortably puts it over the bar.
There was chipped up out of his hands. Ethan O'Donnell has it, McDyer has it, the fist inside, and there's Owen McGettigan, and he fists the ball. He's going to take his run up just to the edge of the arc, very central with that breeze behind him. It was a great decision to go for
59 minutes on the clock, and they're 2 points down here.
It's a huge kick. What a score from Oisin Boyce there. And Talcott have won it, and it's Malone the sub. He looks very dangerous in the second half. He gives it across to Owen McGettigan on the left foot. Owen McGettigan plants it over. He's found himself right hand side. He gives it back again to Doherty. Doherty, who's been everywhere today, on the left foot. And that is a huge score